I'm at a secret training facility in Kyiv with Ukrainian recruits in its elite 3rd Assault Brigade. Training in close quarters battle for a war that is increasingly not only being fought on the front lines.
Количество агентуры, которое Россия в Украине постоянно содержит, обновляет, оно чрезмерно высоко. Это логично. То есть они таким образом ведут войну. Так ведут все боевые действия.
This trainer, who CBC cannot name per Ukrainian military protocol, calls it a policy of terror. Convince someone, anyone, to sow chaos in Ukraine.
Когда нельзя недооценивать врага?
It's known as a shadow war.
Civilians who were recruited by Ukrainian and Russian militaries to spy, plant bombs, even assassinate, adding a troubling new layer to this conflict.
And it includes suspected Russian covert operations. Stephen Ray is a security analyst with his eye on Russia.
And increasingly, they seem to be relying on these unsuspecting individuals who may not know they're working with the Russian government to carry out these violent activities and these acts of sabotage.
One indication, Russian spies are known to recruit Ukrainian teenagers on apps like Telegram, promising them money for acts of sabotage. Some, like this teen in May, are given an improvised explosive device and a target to plant. This IED, common during the insurgencies of the Iraq and Afghan wars, was for a military building in Kyiv.
Is this a tactic now of Russia to recruit teens to do terrorism?
Russia is basically exploiting vulnerable individuals who are desperate for some sort of money to carry out these attacks. They don't care if they're teenagers, they don't care if they're homeless people, they don't really care what the background is.
Ukrainian police and security services now make presentations in schools how to avoid being recruited. And it's not just teens. More assassinations, more acts of sabotage are happening away from the front lines.
Only a few months ago, just behind me in that building complex, a Ukrainian spy was assassinated by a gunman in broad daylight using a silencer pistol.
The killing was claimed by the base, an American-born international neo-Nazi terrorist group. The base set up a cell in Ukraine in early 2025, saying they wanted to create a white ethno-state offering anonymous rewards for sabotage and assassinations against any Ukrainian military, police, or political targets. This is the base's tag and symbol, seen in multiple videos they posted around Ukraine. The remnants of this tag behind me was from their cell in Kyiv.
Part of the reason why they have really set up shop in Ukraine, they think that Ukraine is in a state of decay right now because of the ongoing war with Russia, and that poses an opportunity for them to exploit the chaos and establish a white ethno-state there.
The group is headed by suspected Russian spy and former Pentagon contractor Ronaldo Nazaro, seen here on RuTube, the Russian YouTube knockoff.
There was a time when there was really no need for white nationalism, you could say, because all our nations were overwhelmingly white.
He's believed to be currently living in Russia.
There is no smoking gun that says he's working for the Russian government, but the suspicions are there and they need to be treated very seriously by authorities who are investigating this threat. There could actually be more going on behind the scenes, up to and including Russian state sponsorship. And if we don't expose that activity, there is no incentive by Russia to scale it back. They're just going to keep going with it.
So what can Ukrainians do about all of this? Their covert operations and special forces have been prolific. In June, they secretly ferried drones to remote bases all over Russia, hitting 20 warplanes and destroying 10, and are suspected of assassinating Russian commanders.
I'm here in Kyiv on my way to a secret meeting with a member of Ukraine's special forces. He's involved with some of the most classified operations for the entire country, the types that go behind enemy lines. We can't show his face because he's the kind of person who's on a Russian kill list.
He says he's part of the shadow war behind enemy lines and commands the special forces resistance movement, seen in this recruiting video.
Але наш успіх полягає в тому, що ми маємо широку підтримку з боку цивільного населення, яке залишилося на окупованих територіях. Бо саме безпосередньо вони виконують ті завдання, які ми на них покладаємо.
Those tasks include coordinating partisans and underground networks who burn down railways, spy, even kill for Ukraine in the occupied territories, and even inside of Russia.
Recently, there has been an assassination of an SBU agent, and then there was also this attempt to recruit teens online through Telegram and things like this. How does Ukraine counter those types of operations here in the homeland?
He says it's up to the Ukrainian security forces to counter those kinds of things, but his special forces have a role to play in the war.
За останні роки ми отримали дуже багато досвіду, саме як здійснювати рух опору в сучасних умовах. І весь цей досвід ми намагаємося імплементувати зараз в розбудову системи руху опору на підконтрольних територіях.
He also confirms Ukraine uses its own citizens to fight Russians in the occupied territories. He says it's dangerous.
Дуже небезпечна робота, як і для наших військовослужбовців, так особливо для тих цивільних громадян, які з нами співпрацюють, і які безпосередньо виконують завдання на тимчасово окупованих територіях.
But this is part of the shadow war involving civilians, which points to escalation. All the while, ceasefire talks are on life support.
It's really up to the international community to act in collaboration with each other to really counteract this threat. The fact that there may be some degree of Russian involvement means that we need to look beyond the traditional counterterrorism toolkit.
Back with the 3rd Assault Brigade, the trainer has a warning for Europeans and Canadians.
Если Украина будет полностью захвачена, здесь также мобилизуют всех, кого смогут, и просто будет война с Европой. Это для меня очевидные вещи, но это вот факт.
The war in Ukraine is getting uglier, it's spreading, and it's not just soldiers doing the fighting.